And welcome into another edition of the Redhawk Report. We're joined by Jack Rahon of Men's Golf. Jack, how we doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So let's get started. First off, you come from a very athletic family. Your two sisters, one was a gymnast, one played basketball here. Your dad played baseball, I believe, at Long Beach State. So how did you become a golfer when they all chose different sports?
I don't know. I played a lot of sports growing up, baseball, soccer, and I also played golf as well. But when it came to the time to decide like what sport I want to focus solely on, I decided to choose golf because golf was just the most challenging sport out of all three of those. And I just loved the mental challenge it had. It was, compared to the other sports, it was fun and challenging.
Was there a moment where you're like, hey, I really love this sport, or what was that initial introduction to golf?
Yeah, so I actually grew up about 6 years old. My dad took me out to the golf course for the first time, and I fell in love with it right away. And then when I was about 12 years old, I decided to like solely focus on golf, start playing it competitively. And then when I became about like a sophomore or junior in high school, I actually realized like, hey, I could actually be pretty good at this. So I wanted to get a Division I scholarship, and luckily I landed myself here at CLU.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you here, so thanks for picking up golf, I guess. It really helped us out as well. But being in a family of athletes like that, it's got to be competitive around the house, right? How competitive was that household?
Yeah, it was super competitive. Me and my sister actually went to rival high schools, so even then, like, we would always compete, like, oh, I went to the best high school, she went to the best high school. And just around the house, like, we'd always be battling, like, no matter what it is. I'd sometimes play basketball, she would sometimes play golf, and we would just always compete. And even with my other sister, too, we'd always compete as well.
All right, you got to be honest. Who usually won those?
I like to say that I'm a better basketball player than she is she is a golfer.
Oh,
so,
okay. I thought you were going to say you were a better basketball player. I was like, okay. So fighting words right there. But speaking of Sarah, your sister, how heavy of an influence was she for you to come here?
She was actually one of the biggest influences, because when she committed to play basketball at CLU, at the time, I was not committed to play golf anywhere. So I actually researched CLU and found out that they have a golf program and wanted to see if they had a spot open. And so I reached out to Coach Chandonnet, and a couple weeks later, I believe, I went up to a visit. And then about 2 or 3 weeks after that, I committed. Hey. So it was a pretty quick process, but I'm really glad I found it.
Hey, quick means it was the right fit, right?
Yep.
So that's how we're going to look at it. But you're now a grad student. You've been here for quite some years now. Not saying you're old, obviously, but you
like it.
You now have that growth. You've been, second team All-WAC. You've had multiple academic All-WACs. But in your personal opinion, over the years you've been here, what do you see as your biggest growth on and off the course?
My biggest growth off the course is as a person. I feel like I've developed so many leadership skills being a captain of this team. And on the course, I feel like I provide so many insights to the new and upcoming teammates that I have. If they ever ask me a question, I'd be happy to answer. And I just feel like I have a big responsibility to everyone on this team, trying to make this team the best that it could be.
Well, that's a perfect segue, actually, into the next question. Coming off a very good performance, a top 2 finish there at the UC San Diego Invitational, you and Nathan both kind of powered the team there, and Mark, your head coach, said that your leadership is a really big part of why you guys are doing so well. How do you see your leadership style?
I'm more of a lead by example kind of guy. I try and go practice and try and make sure that my teammates see what I'm doing, so then maybe they could emulate it. I'm a little bit more quiet, but I like to, like I said, lead by example.
How excited are you about Chambers coming up? Obviously, that's a big thing for you guys. and it's a beautiful course. But what's the excitement around the team?
Yeah, it's always exciting going to a home event. And we have a really good opportunity to win this year. We're all super excited and preparing really well. And yeah, we just can't wait to get out there and compete and win.
When you're on the course and you're having a really good day out there, you fit top 5 finish for yourself individually as well. Is there you feel you're in the zone? Because a lot of sports have a different in the zone moment, but what is it when you're okay, this is gonna be a good day on the course?
It's kind of difficult because golf is such a long day, so you could be in the zone for 6 holes, but it's hard to be in the zone for all 18. So it's kind of just plugging along, trying to get yourself in that zone. And when I do feel like I'm in the zone, I feel like golf's just effortless and nothing could stop me.
Is there something refreshing about being outside, being in the fresh air and on the course that you kind of everything else kind of melts away, or is it you hear the environment, you feed off that? Is it a little bit of both, or?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like when you're just out there, it's just outdoor sports are fun, especially when it's nice and you're not getting rained on, which you guys get that a little bit here, obviously. But getting to know you a little bit more, since you've been at Seattle U, originally from California, so coming up north now, what have you really enjoyed about campus, either in the classroom or just overall in Seattle?
Yeah, I really like the environment up here. My team and my teammates and my coach, love them to death. School is awesome. I really love the academics here. I think the combination of those two things really drew me to this school, and that's why I came here from California.
Yeah, so it's not an easy choice, right? Coming up from California to Seattle.
It's not easy, but it's worth it.
Obviously, again, glad you came up here. But if you saw, so we talked about where you've seen your growth. If there's something you want to see more growth in, we'll just stick to the course this time. What would that be? I mean, if you're perfect, it's okay. I mean, you can say that. You don't have to be humble here.
It's a tough question, but I would say the biggest growth I could have would be in my mental game. I feel like it's grown tenfold since I was a freshman, but my mental game could always be better.
I think everybody needs that advice as well. It always can be better for everyone. Talked about you and Nathan as well being the 2 leaders on this team. How close are you two? And then who would you say on this team have you really taken under your wing being in that leader role?
Yeah, Nathan's one of my best friends. I'm really lucky to have him as a teammate. And on the team, I feel like I've taken all of the freshmen in under my wing equally. And yeah, I mean, we have 3 really good freshmen, and then actually we have 1 incoming freshman that just got here about a week ago. I've only met him once, but I feel like I'm going to take him under my wing as well.
That's a true leader right there. I like that. Follow up with 2 fun questions. You want to be a professional golfer when you are finished here at Seattle University. So first off, what's 1 course, or we'll say tour, that you really wish you could be a part of? And 2, what current or past golfer would you most want to golf with?
Yeah, so right out of college, I'm going to go to PGA Tour Latin America Q School, try and get onto there. And then the end goal is obviously to be on the PGA Tour and compete and win. Definitely Tiger Woods. I guess my dream foursome would be Tiger Woods, Justin Thomas, and Jack Nicklaus.
That's a pretty good list right there. But we know you're a busy guy, so we're going to let you get out of here, but we appreciate you hopping on the Redhawk Report.
Yeah. Thank you, Russell.